Hello and welcome to this taste challenge. I have two 40% alcohol brandies. You ever see anybody drinking brandy? Hartley V.S.O.P. made with imported brandy. There's the Italian flag. So yeah, I've seen photos where they had a Hartley bottled and bond, but I've never seen that in real life. Hartley VS. I've seen Hartley brandy, just says Hartley brandy. And in the last 5 years, I've only seen Hartley V.S.O.P. So I guess they got rid of the VS and the Hartley brandy, base model. I say I guess. I don't know that. There's some flavored Hartley brandies, which I've not tried, but they're probably all right, I guess, if you want to drink something with flavoring. Hartley flavor. Let's see what comes up. Now just skip that. It doesn't matter. All right, so this is 40% alcohol. There's no age statement, but V.S.O.P. typically means aged 4 to 6 years, but can't really rely on that. That's not a law. That's like more like a hope or a wish. But typically, VS is 2 to 4 years. V.S.O.P. is 4 to 6 years, very smooth old pale. And XO, extra old, is 6 to 10 years. In England, they use stars, 3-star. 3-star brandy is VS. The 5-star is the mid-range, and then there's 10-star, but that's not used here. All right, here's Presidente. Presidente, imported from Mexico, from Pedro Domecq. Casa House, Pedro Domecq. It's got this embossed bottle. I bought this at Star in Kenner, Louisiana, on Louisiana Highway 49, southbound. The store that's near the lake. It was $13.99 for the bottle. $13.99. True story. $13.99. It's got a new label. It's got barrel racks on both sides the aisle. You might find some older bottles with an older label, but they're similar. It never really changed the label since it. Now, the information I found was that it was introduced in 1973. Okay. I looked at an older website that was saying 1956, but I'm going to go with 1973. But if you can give me some definitive information that it was back to 1956, okay. But all the things I'm finding is 1973, okay. Presidente is the finest brandy born in Mexico. Oh, really? With more than 50 years. See, they're saying more than 50 years. This bottle is new, so they're saying like 1973, bringing generations together. It is aged in oak barrels, no shock there, and its flavor makes it ideal for mixing or by itself, which I'm going to do tonight by itself. De Mexico para Todos. Imported by Gonzalez Bias, USA, Chicago, Illinois. Now, see, that's the website I was looking at. Gonzalez Bias. And they're claiming it's 1956, but Pedro Domecq is not saying that. Now, you can look up pedrodomecq.com. It's really a Spanish company, product of Mexico, 100% grapes. They got an indication on the back, 100% grapes. See that? Meaning no filler. There's no filler. It's made from grapes. This one says made with imported brandy, natural flavors, caramel color. Okay. $8.99, $13.99. It should pan out basically how the price is set up. And then I gotta get out of here because of college basketball related issues. All right. Had a good nap today. Ate some good red beans, kidney beans with had some kidney beans with some diced onions and serrano peppers and some extra sharp cheddar cheese embedded, and I let it melt, in the beans, and then some bratwurst infused with cheddar, more cheddar from Aldi. That was another story. Oh yeah, this is one of those built-in fraud preventers where you can pour out, but you can't pour in. You got to tip it all the way, or it won't come out, just like Buchanan's. So that was a good lunch, and I had some bread with sandwich bread on it, some pumpkin pie with yikes. This one's poured too much. Well, I'm not going to redo it. This one's amber. This one's copper. I had some pumpkin pie with extra creamy whipped cream on it for dessert. And I slept like a baby. When I laid down, I was like out. It was so quiet around here this afternoon. This morning, I was just out like a light. What's that sound? Oh. That's the Kansas City Southern Railroad eastbound. They're switching the trains out. All right, we'll do the so yeah, I was out, but I woke up at 2:30 in the morning, 2:25 in the morning. I'm like a reverse night owl. All right, let's do the screen share. Here's Hartley. There's no website for it, but Total Wine carries it from, they had it in my town or a town close to me, but they don't carry it right now, but it might show up next week. There it is. There's the bottle. Same bottle as a lot of stuff that they sell. That's a standard Sazerac. Weller used to be in that bottle. 2 Stars bourbon is in that bottle. It's a common bottle. Rich buttery cake fragrance leads you to a smooth array on the palate. Vanilla coats the tongue with hints of orange peel, Asian apricots that all end with a clean, crisp finish. It gets a 68, so people are saying it's bad. I kind of agree with it, but I think it's got more like grape leaves and the grape skins. It's a little tannic than they're leading on, but okay. Winn-Dixie has it for $8.99 also until the end of the month. And they're saying brandy with natural flavors and caramel color added, made with imported brandy, toll-free. All they did was type whatever they read on the bottle. So whatever they saw on the bottle, they just typed it onto their website. And grapes. Oh, Winn-Dixie, y'all are something else. But it is $8.99 until the end of the month, and that's not a joke. This is from Emperador. Presidente brandy is produced from a blend of the best grapes in Mexico's Hermosillo region. It's mild, fruity aroma, has slight hints of vanilla and caramel. That's a typographical error. It's mild, fruity aroma, hints of caramel, hints of vanilla and caramel, and is smooth on the palate and makes for a versatile drink. It can be enjoyed neat on the rocks or as a cocktail. Okay, so there's man, I'm telling you, I wish I had $1 for every liquor website where I found errors, beer, liquor, and wine websites. I'd have some money. As Tec de Oro, Don Pedro, I've never heard of these brandies, but all the around, I've seen So Nice. I see right there. Uh, Terry. I've never seen Terry. I've got a bottle of Fundador, so yeah, I see that. Emperador. That's the main frame. That's the company's main brand. Mm, Witt and McKay. Oh yeah, of course. I get a lot of Witt and McKay products. I didn't even realize they got bought out. Tamnivelin, Space Side Single Malt. I might have seen that. Federal Highland Single Malt. Don't recall seeing that, but that's no shock. I got a bottle. Dalmore. I see that all the time. Brandy, other stuff, rum, Smirnoff contract. Anyway, yeah. There you go. Philippines. Really. And I would say cheers back to you. To you. Okay. Enough's enough. Been my boss. All right. So Mexico. Oh, quick story. I went to Mexico. Oh, I think it's been 10 years since I've been to Mexico. It's sickening. I used to go every year, it seemed like. Always be going to Mexico. From 1998 to 2014. I'll be driving to Mexico every year. I just had this fixation. I wanted to go to Mexico. All right. And I would walk around, buy stuff, go to the restaurants. You know, I mean, even drive there. I didn't even have insurance. I was insanity. I just said, oh, hope I don't get in a wreck. But I drove there, you know, to Camargo. But thankfully didn't get in a wreck. But I went to Mexico one time because it's not that far from, I mean, it's far from here, but 10 hours, you know, I mean, it's not close. But anyway, I can go to New York City in 19 hours. I can go to Mexico in 10 hours. So, you know, all right. So it's kind of like a different adventure. All right. So, no, I could buy this half a mile away, so I wouldn't go to Mexico to buy it. So I went to Mexico and they had Presidente, and it was a low price for a half-size bottle. I was like, I'm buying this. It was like, I don't know, $3.99 for the half price. So I crossed the border back to the United States. First thing I see, Texas alcohol check-in station. I'm like, man, what's this? I almost wanted to walk past it, but I said, I better not. I don't feel like getting arrested. I said, oh, man. And the guy's like, you got to pay tax. Well, it's like, you got to pay tax on it if you bring stuff to Texas. I was like, oh, boy. They didn't tell me a thing at the U.S. border. So he's like looking at all the stuff. He's like, well, I'll tell you what. Like I didn't realize there was leeway, you know. He says, I tell you what. Just give me $5 and you got it. I'm thinking, they got wiggle room. But I said, okay. I gave him $5. I left. So when I added that into the price that I paid, I didn't come out ahead. I actually maybe lost a little bit per ounce. I was like, well, that's the last time I'm buying liquor in Mexico. Funny thing is, I got back home. I didn't pay any mind to it. I got back home. Oh, 35%. In Mexico, it's sold at 35%. It wouldn't even be allowed to be called brandy in the United States for 35%. I said, not only did I go through all this humbug, right? Now, I don't know what town it was. It was maybe Camargo. No, it was probably Piedras Negras or Ciudad Acuña. But anyway, I went there. I was like, oh, what a waste of time and effort. And they had the same old stuff, like really, like I was in the liquor stores in Mexico. It was like, it's the same stuff we have here. So except for a few Mexican beers that you can't ever see here, like Superior Black. You can get Superior, maybe, in Louisiana, probably in Texas, but definitely not the black, dark, the Schwartz beer. I'm like, that's another story why I couldn't get that. But so I said, oh, man. So then I saw the Presidente, the 40%, for the U.S. market at Star, and I bought it. All right. Of course, Hartley, you can buy it at any liquor store. I've seen it in Kentucky, seen it in Louisiana. It's not that rare. I don't know who likes it. Apparently some people, because I always see it on the shelf. All right. I'm going to calm down. All right. But I got traumatized by that Presidente experience, which was not as bad as getting frisked at the U.S. border. And somebody was telling me, those Mexicans, they're really strict. They frisk you. I said, it wasn't the Mexicans that did it. They didn't care. They sitting there in a chair listening to the radio or looking at a phone when I crossed the border. They don't even care. I said, when I came back to the United States, they're all like official, like, put your hands up against the wall. We're going to frisk you. I'm like, oh, man. But I didn't say a word. 10 years ago, I said, well, I can tell stories about this because I didn't have any contraband on me. I didn't have any weapons or drugs. I said, okay, they ain't gonna find nothing. So, of course, they did not. And they said, well, okay, you can leave now. I said, okay. Joshua Proudy says, what's your favorite brandy? My favorite brandy? Well, it's called a Terry search. I don't know what that word means. Terry search, craft beer-tastic, but they did it. And then they had a dog search me. I mean, it's a long story. They put me on a tag. And then later when I came back, the guy was like, I'm taking this off the tag. It's like a joke. And he looked at my YouTube channel and he started laughing. He was a colonel. So I don't know. It was a hassle. That made me not want to go back. It was 10 years ago, but I wanted to go back a few years ago. My friend David, he didn't have a passport. I had a passport, and he was like, well, and then the border guy was like, well, you could go across, but they might give you a lot of trouble without a passport coming back. He said, I mean, they'll let you back, but they're going to yell at you. And I was like, let's not do it. So we didn't go to Mexico. These are all true stories. I'm not kidding. All right. Anyway, but I would like to go back. I mean, I would literally go back. Favorite brandy. That's actually a pretty good question. I don't know. I guess that the Hennessy Black, which I don't see much anymore. Do they still make Hennessy Black? Or maybe it was the Hennessy V.S.O.P Privilege. But I don't have any more of it. That was really good. The Hennessy V. You see, most people, they just get Hennessy VS and they're like, we're going out. It's Friday night. I got my Coca-Cola. Yeah. And I'm like, You ever tried the black? No. You ever tried the V.S.O.P Privilege? No. I'm like, yeah, I figured you hadn't. This smells very grapey, very grape skin. Does not smell like Hartley. Smells nice. All right, let's go over here. I got to look away because if I see I know one is darker than the other, so I can't look. Let's go over here. Brandy with vanilla icing or wedding cake icing in it. Vanilla extract. I don't know. I think I got it right. Let's go with the taste. Cheers. These things are all the same. I'm telling you, when you drink brandy, they're all the same when you get down to the bottom line. Grape skins, grape, a little sugar, tannins, grape leaves. I mean, it's the same old thing every time. Now you might say, you mean like bourbon? Yeah, but we can't say that on this channel because bourbon is very different. They got people paying $80 for bourbon. It's way different. We don't want to let that cat out the bag. People be running to Jim Beam and the other cheap one. All right, but no, but honestly though, all kidding aside, all kidding in all seriousness though, and I have tried some expensive bourbons and but and yeah, won't mention that. But tastes like bourbon. Not bourbon. I was talking about bourbon. It tastes like brandy with vanilla added to it. I mean, literally, it tastes like they added vanilla to it. I'm not saying bride's cake icing or wedding cake icing or vanilla extract, but that's kind of like what they take. What it tastes like they added to it. Do I like vanilla extract? Well, I mean, I guess it's used in a lot of confectionery recipes. You go to any grocery stores on the baking aisle. There's a reason for it. It's natural flavors. It's not artificial flavoring. If you go to a grocery store, they do have artificial vanilla extract. It's cheaper because it's not real. They're not using that. They're using the real thing. I can't say it's vanilla. I'm saying I think it tastes like vanilla to me, and I believe that's what they're using, but I can't prove it. So I'm going to say this is the Hartley. I got it. I got it. I got the $50. I got the $50. Okay, comments. Ronnie S. says, Presidente is a Dominican beer brand. It is a Dominican beer brand, but it's also a Mexican brandy brand. They're not related in any way, except that both countries were owned by Spain at one point, just like Louisiana was owned by Spain. So since Louisiana was owned by Spain, and I'm from Louisiana, I could claim that I'm Hispanic, which would not convince too many people. Excuse my ignorance, but what does V.S.O.P stand for? Okay, don't feel bad. That's how you learn. You ask questions. It stands for very smooth old pale. Very smooth old pale, which typically, not always, but typically in the brandy world, grapes turned into liquor. In other words, whiskey made out of grapes. Whiskey made out of grapes. Ronnie, yes, Florida was also owned by Spain. That's right. It was Spain's first mainland North American territory, Florida, and they divided it into two parts to make it easier to rule: East Florida and West Florida. And I was born in West Florida. True story. They call them the Florida parishes of Louisiana. Well, formerly West Florida, which stretched from the Mississippi River to the Apalachicola River in Florida. Mobile, Alabama, Biloxi, Mississippi, Pensacola, Florida, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, Manchac, Louisiana, all part of West Florida. You can win money on that. A lot of people would never realize they used to have two Floridas. Okay. I think the British actually divided it into East and West while they were in control of Florida. Oh, that might be so. Maybe they did when they took it over in 1863, but in the Treaty of Paris. But I think Spain continued that when they reassumed control of it in 1783. But regardless, the U.S. told the Spanish to get out. And in 1819, they're like, well, we could pay you for it. So they made him a deal. They're kind of like Michael Corleone. The United States was like Michael Corleone. They were like, well, you could sell it, or we could take it for free. Gave him two choices to Spain. You could sell it for money, or we'll take it for free. And the Spanish were like, yeah, that's an offer we cannot refuse, because they had no kind of military power, so they sold it. Yeah, the Adams-Onis Treaty. Yeah, right. John Quincy Adams. Joshua Prouty says, "Do I like vodka?" I mean, yeah, it's all right. I'm not a vodka fan. I would not buy it on purpose. I use it in my video mix-up videos. It does mix well with like soda pop. I have 3 bottles. When those bottles are gone, I can't really imagine that I would buy more. It's possible, but I have no dedication to vodka. I'll just be honest. I'm not anti-vodka. I'm not an anti-vodkaite, but I'm not going to pretend that I have any kind of dedication. Now they got they got YouTube channels, probably got 100,000 more subscribers than this channel that only deal with vodka. That's all they do. They do vodka reviews, and that's it. They wouldn't touch another spirit. So hey, it's clearly popular. It's just clearly not for me. But yeah, I don't take issue with it. I like the oak. It's got a lot of oak. Now, I'm not confusing these two. They don't taste the same. And honestly, I don't think I'm going to mix Hartley with anything. I don't think I'm going what I mean is I don't think I'm going to mix it up with anything. I don't think I'm going to confuse it with anything else. Okay, well, let me close this out because I'm missing a game. I'm worried about missing a game, and I'll lay down and watch it. I'll be like asleep in like 3 minutes, but I would like to see the game. I do go to college basketball games. I do go to games. I rather go to the actual game, and I've been to so many in my life. Dillard University, Southern University at New Orleans, Loyola University, Xavier University at New Orleans, Tulane University, University of New Orleans, Southeastern Louisiana University, Louisiana State University, Southern University in Baton Rouge, University of Louisiana at Lafayette, Southern Mississippi, University of Southern Mississippi, went to game there. Went to a game in University of Houston one time against Louisiana State University. And that was in 2003, and LSU got beat like a drum. University of Houston Cougars beat them like a drum. But I was there when I think the tickets were like, I think somebody sold me a ticket for $10. I've been to that might be it. I think I've been to more. Maybe I've been to more baseball and football, but I've been to many college basketball games. Too many to mention. Although just, oh yeah, Nicholls State University. Where's my mind? Many times. All right. And Jefferson Starship recorded a live, put it out on a 45 album of one of their singles recorded at Nicholls State University in that same facility as Stouffer Gymnasium. It was called man, what was that song? It was on the B side of "We Built This City" on Rock and Roll, but it was I think it was "Laying It on the Line." Recorded in Thibodaux, Louisiana, live. True story. All right. I guess I would rather get the Presidente. I like the grape skins. It's got a sharpness to it. I like the sharp. Like when I buy cheese, I buy like the extra sharp cheddar cheese. It's got like, it's not a bite. I can't say it's bitey. It's just got like a sharp cut to it. It's like, it's like the finish is a cut. hard to describe. But for $13.99, if you find this, I mean, yeah, I would say even $15.99, I would go for it. $16.99, maybe you're getting ripped off, but yeah. Now Hartley, I think they're adding the, and I'm saying vanilla extract. I cannot prove that in any way. I don't know what the natural flavoring is. It could be something that's totally disconnected from vanilla extract. Okay, it could be. They could be laughing at me right now, like you're so stupid. We don't add vanilla extract, you idiot. We add sugarcane extract. I mean, I don't know, but I I think they're using that to kind of smooth it out, give it a little mellowness. It does work, whatever they're adding. I don't take exception to it. I do like it. Boy, 10 years ago, I hated it. It was terrible. It was horrible. But they have improved it. I'll admit that. I'll concede that. They have obviously worked on it. Maybe they watch my videos. Maybe, are your videos the thing that influenced them to improve the product? I hope so. I seriously doubt that's the case, but I hope so, because it was pretty grim. I mean, 10 years ago, if you'd have sipped this, you'd have been like, oh, oh. But it wasn't the V.S.O.P. It was the V.S. and the Hartley brandy. But now it's like, it's pretty good. Maybe that's why the sales are strong at Winn-Dixie and Rouse's. They're not sticking it on the shelf because it doesn't sell. It has a little bit of the grape leaf. Like I said on this one, it has a little bit of the tannic quality, but it's just like it's smoothed out. If you want to say sweetened, you can cover a lot of imperfections with sugar, maybe. More sirens. Boy, we get enough wrecks around here. But I don't love it. I don't love it. I do like it, and I think for $8.99, it's worth it. But when you're dealing with these products, you do want to take price into account. I mean, I would, and not only would I theoretically, I do practically in reality. Okay, I like a nice shot of Jameson from time to time. Okay. I have Jameson coming up next year sometime, probably around April or May. But yeah, got more Jameson coming into play. I do like my Jameson. I have three bottles. I don't. I have some bottles of it. Yeah, but I gotta bring in Proper 12. Proper 12 is coming into play next year. Get ready for 2025. Proper 12, the famous what they call that sport. Yeah, that thing in the cage. Yeah, which I never watched, by the way. Throwing folding chairs into the bus window. Yeah, coming into play. Not the Proper 12 Apple. Sorry, not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. Not gonna. Dara Macia says MMA. Yeah, that thing that I don't watch. Not gonna die. Could I get the Proper 12 Apple? Well, obviously with no effort. Walmart, Winn-Dixie, Mathern's, everybody sells Proper 12 Apple. But I don't think I'll buy it. You say, well, you bought the Rich and Rare Apple. You could pin me down and say you bought the Rich and Rare Apple. I'm not ready for 2025, says Zach Robinson. Cheers, Ron. Cheers to you. Yeah, I did buy the Rich and Rare Apple, but I got it because it was cheap. Somebody had it for $7.99 or $8.99. I thought, for that price, there's no risk factor, and there really was no risk factor. And in fact, well, I don't want to mention that because then people will be like, "Oh, I'm not gonna buy my Crown Royal apple for $23.99. I'll just buy Rich and Rare for $9.99, and I'll save a lot of money, and it'll be just as good." I can't say that Rich and Rare is just as good. It tasted real. It tasted like a green apple. It tastes like a tart, luscious apple to me. And I know where to buy Rich and Rare apple, and I've never had Crown Royal apple, but when I hear people describe Crown Royal apple, I think to myself, hmm, that sounds remarkably similar to the Rich and Rare apple that I had. But yeah, no, I won't bring that up. Forget it. I won't mention it. Glad I didn't talk about it. Now, what about Taka apple, Taka vodka apple? Well, yes, that's true, but that has like a, you see, that has like a vodka undercurrent. So it's like that icy because you're gonna, you know, optimally, typically go drink those out the freezer. War sirens. Oh my goodness. So then you get that kind of icy vodka under flavor, under non flavor. It's like a non flavor that is a flavor. So it's like kind of grit your teeth. It'll grit your teeth a little bit, like the Taka apple, which is, I can't say it's bad. It's actually pretty good. And then they got the 100 Benjamin's 100 proof apple from a E&J Gallo. They don't like to use their name on it, but I tracked them down on it. 100 proof. Ugh. And it has that same like icy undertaste. It's like, whoo, make you grit your teeth. But then there's the 99 brands apple. You'll still grit your teeth. I mean, it's a schnapps, so it's pretty but it's all right. It's all right. Yeah. So yeah, all right. I can't say about the Crown Royal apple because I never had it, but yeah, I would go with Presidente because I think I get the impression that they're not adding flavoring or coloring. Could be wrong. Could be devastatingly wrong, but I get that impression. But yeah, this one they just upfront about it. Now I like that. I do like that about Sazerac, and it's not because I live 30 miles from the Sazerac headquarters, but it is true. Their office is 30 miles from here. But I just think that's their practice that they will, if they add flavoring or coloring, they'll tell you on the label, brandy with flavoring and coloring, natural flavors and coloring. So I do appreciate that, but yeah, very nice, but or at least nice. I don't know about very nice, but a B, good. For Presidente, yeah, I think it's a little bit better. Yeah, I'll go with B plus on this one. Very good. Yeah. All right. So thanks for tolerating this. Oh my good. All right, so let's see. We got Mexican. Oh, we're going to Spain. The next time around, we're going to Spain, the Kingdom of Spain. And I have a product, Pedro Domex brandy. It's a very old, they claim now, I guess they know. They did the research. I did not. They claim that they're the oldest brandy in Spain, which to me is shocking because it's only from the 1870s. You say, well, that's a long time ago. But in the liquor world, that's like last month. But so but I'll go with what they're saying. And then I've got when we do the Fundador, which is fabulous, really. That's the base model. Can you imagine what the high levels are like? That's the base model. So the Fundador, and then we're going to go to France. And that'll take a few days. and then to Ukraine, and that'll close it out. And then it's on to rum, 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 rum. Actually, the rum I tried today was much better than you would have ever imagined. All right, y'all take care now. Bye-bye.